In the crucible of the 20th century, the nature of warfare was forged anew, not by grand strategies or colossal battleships, but by a weapon born of brutal necessity. A weapon that could spit fire and fury in the tight, terrifying confines of a trench, forever altering the calculus of combat. This is the story of the submachine gun, an invention that filled the deadly gap between the long-range rifle and the close-quarters bayonet, and in doing so, wrote a pivotal chapter in the history of modern warfare. World War I, the Great War, was a conflict defined by paradox. Armies numbering in the millions, equipped with artillery that could level landscapes and machine guns that could scythe down men in droves, found themselves locked in a primitive, medieval struggle. The battlefield was a maze of trenches, a muddy, ret-infested hellscape where the decisive action often happened at terrifyingly close ranges. The standard-issue bolt-action rifle, a superb instrument for a marksman at several hundred yards, became a clumsy and slow liability in the chaos of a trench raid. It was too long to maneuver in the narrow confines, and its rate of fire, a mere handful of rounds per minute, was woefully inadequate when facing a sudden, desperate charge. Soldiers were often forced to rely on pistols, clubs, sharpened spades, and the cold steel of a bayonet. The problem was clear. There was a deadly void in the infantryman's arsenal, a gap between the ponderous power of the machine gun and the personal reach of the rifle. Armies needed a new kind of weapon, one that was compact, automatic, and could deliver a high volume of fire at close range, a portable storm of lead. From this desperate need, the concept of the submachine gun was born. It was an idea that married the automatic fire of a machine gun with the portability of a rifle, all while chambered for a pistol-caliber cartridge. This last detail was crucial. Using pistol ammunition made the weapon far more controllable than a full-powered machine gun, reduced its size and weight, and allowed a soldier to carry significantly more ammunition. One of the first designs to truly realize this potential emerged from the German Empire. In 1918, the MP-18, or Maschinenpistole 18, made its debut in the hands of elite German stormtroopers. Designed by Hugo Schmeisser, it was a relatively simple, robust weapon that fed from a 32-round snail drum magazine originally intended for the Luger pistol. For the stormtroopers tasked with infiltrating and clearing out Allied trenches, the MP-18 was a revelation. It provided overwhelming mobile firepower, allowing a single soldier to suppress and overwhelm multiple enemies in seconds. Although it arrived too late and in too few numbers to change the outcome of the war, the MP-18 had proven the concept. The age of the submachine gun had dawned. If World War I was the submachine gun's birth, World War II was its coming of age. The conflict, characterized by rapid advances, urban combat, and brutal fighting from the ruins of Stalingrad to the jungles of the Pacific, was the perfect theater for this new class of weapon. Nations across the globe rushed to develop and mass-produce their own designs, creating a gallery of iconic firearms that would become symbols of the war itself. Germany, building on its early lead, fielded the MP-40. Its stamped metal construction and folding stock made it cheap and quick to produce, and it became the signature weapon of German infantry and paratroopers. Its menacing profile was a common sight from the deserts of North Africa to the frozen Eastern Front. On the Allied side, the United States had its own legend, the Thompson submachine gun, or Tommy gun. Initially famous as a gangster weapon in the 1920s, the military adopted a simplified version, the M1, which served with distinction. It was heavy and expensive, but it's powerful. 45 caliber round gave it incredible stopping power, earning it the trust of soldiers in close-quarters battles. Not to be outdone, the Soviet Union produced the PPSH-41, a brilliantly simple and rugged weapon. With its 71-round drum magazine, it could unleash a torrent of fire, becoming a symbol of Soviet resilience and a nightmare for German soldiers, who often prized captured examples. And in Britain, the Sten gun, a crude but effective weapon made from little more than tubes of steel, was born out of the desperate need to rearm after Dunkirk. It was cheap, easy to make in workshops across the country, and exemplified the make-do spirit of the time. The dominance of the submachine gun in these environments was no accident. Its design was perfectly suited for the brutal realities of trench assaults and city fighting. In the narrow, winding corridors of a bombed-out building or the tight confines of a trench system, long-range accuracy was irrelevant. What mattered was the ability to react instantly and deliver a devastating volume of fire. The submachine gun's compact size allowed soldiers to maneuver easily through doorways, around corners, and in cramped spaces where a full-length rifle would be an unwieldy burden. Its fully automatic capability meant that a soldier could spray a room or a section of a trench, suppressing the enemy and gaining a crucial split-second advantage. The relatively low recoil of the pistol cartridges it fired made it controllable even for less experienced troops, allowing them to lay down effective fire under the immense stress of combat. It was the ultimate weapon for the sharp end of warfare, a tool that gave the individual infantryman the power to dominate his immediate surroundings in the house-to-house fighting that defined battles like Stalingrad and Berlin. The submachine gun was king, its distinctive chatter becoming the soundtrack of urban warfare. Yet, as the world moved on from the ashes of World War II, the submachine gun's limitations began to show. The very characteristics that made it so effective at close range were its greatest weaknesses on a more open battlefield. The pistol-caliber ammunition, while ideal for 50 or 100 meters, lacked the power and range of a true rifle cartridge. As infantry combat tactics evolved, and engagements began to stretch out to 200 or 300 meters, the submachine gun was simply outranged. Its bullets would lose energy and accuracy rapidly, making it ineffective against enemies armed with standard battle rifles. The post-war era saw the rise of armored personnel carriers and mechanized infantry, which meant soldiers were often fighting in more open terrain between urban centers, a scenario where the submachine gun was at a distinct disadvantage. Military doctrine began to seek a weapon that could bridge the gap, not between the rifle and the bayonet, but between the submachine gun and the battle rifle, a weapon that could do it all. This search led directly to the rise of a new class of weapon, the assault rifle. Pioneered by the Germans late in World War II with the STG-44, the assault rifle concept was revolutionary. It fired an intermediate cartridge, a round more powerful than a pistol bullet but less powerful than a full-sized rifle cartridge. This gave it the controllability of a submachine gun in automatic fire, but with significantly greater range and power, effective out to 300 meters or more. The definitive example of this new breed was the Soviet AK-47, followed by the American M16. These weapons offered a select fire capability, combining the functions of a submachine gun for close-quarters battle and a rifle for longer-range engagements into a single, versatile platform. For general infantry use, the assault rifle made the submachine gun obsolete. Why carry a specialized close-quarters weapon when you could carry a single rifle that performed that role almost as well, while also being effective at medium ranges? By the time of the Vietnam War, the assault rifle had firmly supplanted the submachine gun as the primary weapon of the modern soldier. Though its reign as the principal infantry weapon was relatively brief, the legacy of the submachine gun is etched permanently into the annals of military history. It was a weapon that perfectly answered the bloody questions posed by the trenches of World War I and the shattered cities of World War II. It democratized automatic firepower, taking it from a heavy, static emplacement and putting it into the hands of the individual soldier, fundamentally changing small unit tactics forever. While it has since been relegated to more specialized roles used by vehicle crews, special forces, and police tactical units who still prize its compact size and controllability in close confines, its impact cannot be overstated. The submachine gun was more than just a piece of machinery. It was a critical evolutionary step in the development of modern infantry weapons, a direct ancestor of the assault rifles that arm soldiers today. It stands as a testament to military innovation born from the harshest of necessities, a brutal but effective tool that forever changed the face of close-quarters combat.